White lies and affairs of 20 years. You never respected me enough or thought I could cut someone out of my life, and you never respected my boundaries when I drew the line. I think 'cause I let my love for you blind me with the obvious, something never felt right with you caring to help and support your relationship with me. The only time I set up a boundary was against my father, and I taught him and you that I can be pushed to a point. Unfortunately for me, we already carrying a secret bigger than our whole relationship, a lie and your own demons that you never allowed to disclose or communicate to me because you didn't value or respect our relationship together. So instead you manipulated me and continued for many years to shut up a healthy bond with distrust and lack of empathy for my needs and a choice. You took my options of choices throughout our whole relationship cause of your greed and selfishness, making it just about what you want and how you are perceived. You made me feel like I was crazy and my feelings and accusations of your affair were not warranted. You left me standing with all the emotions that I didn't know who to talk to because you made me feel like I was losing my mind. This was the only way you chose to be with me. You never allowed me to choose if I wanted to be in a relationship with a woman who lied to me for 21 years on her infidelity and affair. You took my gift of children and my hope of raising them with you, and you slept next to me nightly, abusing me daily with your knowledge of using your secret to try and break me once you chose to leave me. You only disclosed your affair once you had used me all up, and I was getting close to finding out without you. Otherwise, I truly don't think you would have ever respected me enough and loved me enough to let me know the truth. There is no word on this earth that I can use to describe your actions and sabotage to everyone you have lied to and used to make your perception and own demons feel satisfied, to stroking your ego daily and thinking that you held the power which made you feel like you controlled your destiny. Once I came to the realization that everything we had is because without me to use or to make children with you or to stroke your ego and self-worth, I realized that everything you had was because of my love for you, which means I can say thank you. I have no hate, just pity and sadness for a person I once loved, and I feel like I should have seen the signs, but again, I never in my wildest nightmares would have guessed that I was actually sleeping with the enemy. Now with this in my rearview mirror, I can learn to trust and love again in my future relationship. And I can walk away with my head up high and proud to know that I am a very intelligent and valued human and sought out by many as friends and possible lovers, cause I do bring worth and value. I do bring real love and experiences that I share. With this said, my only regret is that I now have to raise children with you, and I fear of all your insecurities and deceptions and lack of trust and empathy may spill onto our wonderful daughters. In the end, I'm not very religious, but I'm gonna ask God for one thing, and that's to keep my daughters protected from the emotional demons and deception living at your parents' house, the secrets and lies to be reflected away from my children so they can love and live life like respectable women when they grow up. This is the end of us. I never wanted to be your friend, and now I'm ashamed that I once called you my lover. I'm removing all the power I once gave you and taking it back and claiming it for myself to give to my children and the true, honest, and wonderful people that I encounter in my journey throughout the rest of my life. I hope you really find happiness, but in order to do that, you have a mountain to climb and hills and rivers to cross in your journey, and you haven't even left the house. Good luck and God bless, for a prayer on your behalf is going to be needed. From the one you never gave a chance, a choice, a care for. Born 1980. Resurrection 2023, died 2022. Loving life daily. Story 2. Boyfriend cheated after 2 years relationship. We have been together for past 2 years. An age gap of 6 years and a romantic heated relationship that started as colleagues when we worked together. A few months ago, he quit his job and a few weeks later told me that he doesn't think it's gonna work out between us. I asked why, and he told me a few reasons that honestly made no sense. Still, I started trying harder. Then he told me he wants to be free to date others, but still want to be actually exclusive with me. I like a fool thought if I gave him his freedom by saying yes, he will realize that he does truly love me. And after all, he wasn't gonna sleep with anyone. That happened last month. He was married for 12 years before we started dating, so I thought it's because he doesn't want to feel tied up again unless he is sure. His words. All this time, my boyfriend was very affectionate towards me. There were no signs of him losing interest in me or lack of passion. We had crazy intimacy and I melted in his arms every time we were intimate. We went on dates, saw each other regularly, and he was always loving towards me except those unusual things he said about being free and things not working out. He had also stopped saying he loves me. Initially it was less, and then it was none at all. But I discounted them thinking it was just his trauma from previous marriage. Fast forward to last week. It was my birthday, so he arranged for us to get a weekend away together. Really romantic one, with boating and a cabin in the woods, etc. We had a really passionate night together, up all night, multiple rounds of lovemaking. Next morning we went for boating in nature, just the two of us. It was perfect. When we came back, there was a car waiting for us outside our cabin. A woman steps out of it, and I ask him who is she. He says, it's his friend X, and she probably stopped by because she owns a place nearby. X had been his friend for over 4 years. I knew about X but had never met her in person. He made sure of that. I asked him, I think twice, that is there something between them? He vehemently denied. I asked him one more time, that is there a future where he thinks anything can happen between them if he was single? He said he was appalled at the thought. So he asked me to sit in the car and approach us to talk to her. She screams and asked him to introduce her to his friend aka me. I walk towards her and say hi and introduce myself. She says if I know who she is, and I say yes, that she is a friend, etc. She asks me if I know she is dating him. I'm shocked. I ask her if they are intimate. She says yes, and that they have been together for the last year. At that time, I can't breathe. I ask him with great difficulty that how did this happen. She adds that a year ago he professed his love to her, told her that she has always been the one he has been in love with, but timing has never been right, and they have never been single at the same time, and after 5 years, life has given them a chance to be together, so he wants to be with her. And after some thought, she said yes, and they became a couple. She then mentions that he took her to meet his parents last month and has been introducing her to everyone as his girlfriend. I feel like someone has stabbed me in back and punched me in the gut at the same time. A whole year. I look at him and all he says is that I didn't know how to end it with you. I was just hoping you'll just leave on your own. And then proceeds to say that he loves this other woman and wants to be with her. I stand there motionless. I was a transitory nobody to their great love story of 6 years in making. I felt so worthless and still do. He didn't even give me the respect or dignity to let me know that he is over me and wants to be someone else. He just kept me on the HOK. I asked him if he really wanted me to move on, then why do anything nice for me? Why this trip or anything? His answer was that he felt obligated and kind of sorry for me. His girlfriend then says that she also feels sorry for me. My self-esteem was shot, and I feel my heart sinking. This person that I loved for 2 years didn't even think about me or my feelings even once as he did all of this. He made me the side girl, and I didn't even know. And he didn't even want to be with me at all, just that he felt sorry for me. He bid me goodbye, and they both left together. I was left alone in that cabin on my birthday. I cry every day. I did truly love him. I don't know why he did that, or how did he manage so well, or how could he fake his love and affection for me? I feel like a worthless piece of shit, a step in the ladder to someone better. I got so depressed that I can't get out of bed in the morning. I think about the past times and all of the lies seem so obvious, but I trusted him so much. I also lost my best friend. Story 3. Wife cheats on her husband, abuses their children and lies on court. Enjoy not having your kids anymore. Good day, you know the deal. English not first language. Mobile yada yada. It's also my first post, so be gentle please. For cast, we have Mom, empty human, S, sister, me, and my dad. I have no concrete dialogue for this story since it happened about 4 years ago, and I pretty much want to forget about it. Now, some background. My mother is not exactly the best person in the world. She used to abuse me, and as both physically and mentally, mostly mentally, avoid responsibilities at home, and she also decided to cheat on my dad with several men around 13 years ago, and never stopped. When my father discovered this, he simply stopped sleeping in the same room and stopped being affectionate towards her. He stayed with her for us, S and I, and decided to raise us basically alone since Mom was always outside with her partners. My mother used to simply arrive home to eat, sleep, and hurt me or my S. The rest of the day she claimed to be working overtime. However, All the money she made was kept away for herself, and my father had to do real overtime to take care of us, and he was tired of not getting any help. Here is where my dad's revenge plan starts. He stayed quiet for a long time, managing work and parenting very well. But in the meantime, he was collecting all the evidence he could about my mom cheating as well as evidence of abuse towards us and I. And he also kept supporting us, teaching us how to stand up for ourselves and each other, helping us understand how bad mom's behavior was, and we don't need to justify her bad treatment just for being out mother. He kept being the best person he could for about 10 years until Les and I were old enough to testify in court. Then he immediately asked for divorce, and got it very easily since mom kept lying about how he was abusing me and my children, but of course, he had proof of her cheating and being the abuser, so they got divorced. But the plan didn't end there, since he wanted us to live with him. My dad left our house immediately after the divorce, and 2 weeks later I moved with him. My sister stayed with mom. Let's skip some months until the court date to discuss the kids' custody. About 6 months prior, my mother lied about me living with her so she could get that sweet child support check asterisk. But when the court date arrived, SME testified against her, explained how bad of a mother she was, etc. And I said that I have been living with my dad for months, contrary to what my mother has said. Of course, she wanted to play the victim with lies, which we refuted. The judge was not having it, and told her that she needed to stop lying because she was being fined for lying to a judicial authority. Of course, she lost our custody, and she was forced to return the child support money to us. Now she lives alone and sometimes tries to play the forgive me. I know I did wrong card with us only to ask for money right after. But none of us want to see her again. Not exactly a massive, sweet and evil revenge. But after I told my dad about this sub, he told me I should post the story. I hope it actually belongs here. Asterisk the child support thing. In my country, when parents divorce, it's the other parent who gives the money to the one with custody of the children. We call that money child support, but in this case where both parents have only one children at their care, they get nothing from each other. My mom said she had both of us to get money from my dad, but that was a lie. Edit. This post is still small, but I'm reading the comments to my father and he loves all the support. He is really happy with you guys. Thanks a lot for that. So there you have it, guys. If you need more videos like these on Deep Turkish Confessions, then smash that like button and subscribe now and stay tuned for more videos like these.